First of all, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming out. The 2017 class we feel is going to be the cornerstone of this program. Bridged with the 2016 class, it's a combination of the two classes that's going to give us the foundation of what we want to build upon here at Syracuse University. We're really excited about the 4 defensive linemen, 2 offensive linemen, the 2 defensive backs, 4 linebackers, 1 quarterback, 4 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 2 tight ends, and 1 fullback. We're also excited about what we've done from a GPA standpoint. 2016, the average of our class was a 2.93 GPA. Our 2017 class is a 3.11, once again showing that we're getting better, not only in the classroom, but also on the football field. I'd like to open it up for questions.
Coach, obviously bringing in just the 1 quarterback, but a guy with all kinds of accolades. What can you tell us about Tommy DeVito?
Well, I think he kind of speaks for himself a little bit. Obviously, we're excited about Tommy. He was our first commit in the class. When we evaluated him, we thought he was special. A lot of people didn't agree with what we saw. He was only a 2-star when we committed to us. And since then, some agencies got him as a 4-star. Obviously, he had a lot of attention from a lot of schools, some SEC schools, bigger schools. But the thing I love about Tommy DeVito and his family and his father is he was always committed to Syracuse University, and he never wavered. He was kind of like Denzel Washington in the movie Glory when he was holding that flag at the end. Everybody was pumping bullets in him, but he just held that flag, held onto that S, okay, and kept waving it, and he brought this class in with the other recruits. Couldn't be prouder of him and his family, and couldn't be prouder of the class of 2017.
When other schools start taking interest, especially some of the bigger schools in the SEC, how does that kind of complicate his recruitment, and how impressed are you, as you alluded to, with his loyalty that you?
Well, I don't think the way we recruited him changed. He was always true to his word. He was true to his bond. I think it made me look at him in a bigger light and look at him and his family. His family's so strong. Him, his mom, his dad, his brother, and just watching them go through that and always giving us that text message, that call, don't worry, Coach, I'm good. Talking to the other guys, we're going to have a heck of a year in 2017, and just proud of him and his family and the way they went about it.
Throughout last year, you would talk about the numbers and how it kind of affected what you could and couldn't do. What does this class change about that? How much closer does it put you to where you want to be with depth and just being able to accomplish what you want to?
Really close. We're not totally there. Really close. I believe it's 40 athletes in the 2 classes. We may add a transfer or something down the road, but I think, Stephen, it really gives us a base. It really gives us a foundation. When you look at the 2 classes, you're talking about 8 defensive linemen, 6 offensive linemen, 6 defensive backs, 7 linebackers, okay, 2 quarterbacks, and then you have the 6 wide receivers, 1 running back. When you start tying it in, 2 tight ends, 1 fullback, you can see that there's a good base, there's a good foundation there. And that's what we talked about last year, and it was good that we could solidify that so we can start building on it for 2018 and 2019.
I think a lot of people from the outside might see some of the transfers that happened this offseason. I know this happens in the second year of a lot of coaching changes. Do you see that as affecting those kind of quality numbers you had?
In what way? I'm not sure where you're going.
I mean, you always talk about how many bodies you have that you feel like you can use. You did last year. From the outside, maybe someone sees those and thinks of it as more of a negative. How do you view those transfers in the big picture, building up the numbers, the depth? Does it affect it?
Well, you don't bank on them, but I think sometimes you see young men in different programs, maybe those bigger programs that feel like they're not getting a fair shake and they want to go somewhere. And instead of playing for a certain color uniform on their chest, they want to play for a system, or they want to play for a style, or they want to go to a certain demographic area and play. And I think that with those young men that they're going to look favorable upon our program based off the things that Amba has done, transferring from Maryland and ending up being a 3rd-team All-American and playing in the Senior Bowl last year and doing the things that he's been doing as he's been rising up the draft status.
What do they bring to your program, and how do they help you going into Canada in the future years?
You know, At the University of Hawaii, my very first college roommate was a Canadian, Jim Mills, 6'7", 265 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes. It shocked me. I had never even seen a Canadian before when I met him in college. But ever since then, the way he went about his work, he ended up being a fantastic player at the university, this is how old I am, going to the Baltimore Colts and being the NFL Rookie of the Year, playing in the NFL and then going to play for the BC Lions back in Canada. I've always respected how quickly he adjusted to the game, even though he hadn't had a lot of years in it. I think it's an untapped area. I think it's an area that's obviously very close to Syracuse University, and I think it's something that we're going to try to take advantage of as long as I have a tenure here at Syracuse University.
Nate, wanted to ask you about Kingsley Jonathan, who I think has a really, really exceptional backstory. How did you and your staff kind of handle his recruitment, the twists and turns that kind of...
I don't want to get into great detail of it, but it's a fantastic story. I think it's going to be a great write. I can't wait to see all you guys fighting, trying to get him to get the first article on him. But he's a very interesting young man. He's very intelligent. We're very excited having him on this football team.
Did you have to do a lot of communication with your admissions office, clearinghouse, to kind of gain assurance that he'll be here in the summer? Is that still being worked out?
It's all worth it. Yes, and it's all worth it. Okay?
Coach, obviously Eric Coley from right in your own backyard, but obviously you guys had a little bit more insight on him. Just your impressions of what you expect out of him.
La Familia, Ohana, family. I expect the world. I expect such great things out. I don't want to put a lot of pressure on him, but one of the top athletes in the state of New York. Excited that he had an opportunity to stay home. And, you know, out of respect to him and his family and his recruitment, we treated him like any other recruit. He went through the entire recruiting process. We did assistant coaches' home visits. We did home visits with the head coach. We treated him like a normal recruit. And we're very excited that he decided that he wanted to stay home and play for Syracuse University.
I wanted to ask a little bit about Markenzie Pierre and kind of the running back position. First, what do you like in Markenzie? And then as you look at the running back position in your scheme, how does he compare to maybe the guys you have as being a bigger guy, and how does it affect where you want to position guys like Dante, Monio, like considering moving either of them?
You know, we got two really good backs in this class. I think they do a little bit of different things. I think Allen's got a little bit more shake and a little bit big play ability in him. I think that Markenzie's a little bit more of that power back. I think with that thunder and that lightning type approach is what you want to do in a recruiting class. I want to get one of these, I want to get one of those. I think Markenzie brings a bigger back, a bigger presence, and that's going to help us not only in short yardage, but it's going to help us on the goal line.
And Ifiatu Malafanu picked you guys this morning over Michigan, and something he said that I wasn't aware of is that he might play two ways for you guys. He mentioned running back. Is he someone who could be in the mix there? Or?
You need to work on that. Ifatu. Yeah, Ifatu. He's outstanding. He can do a lot of things, and any of the things that he likes to do, we'll more than welcome it. Wherever he wants to play is okay with us. Another young man like Mr. DeVito that had a lot of opportunities going down the stretch and stayed solid to Syracuse. And like he told me on the phone this morning, go Orange. And we're excited that he's here.
Coach, 4 wide receivers in this class, and obviously with the type of offense that you have, that's a big deal. So one of them, Cameron Jordan from Long Island, tell me about him, and is that an area that you plan on getting into more regularly?
I'm not going to talk about him individually. I will say that we're excited about all our recruits from the Northeast, just like we're excited about the young men that are up north from Canada. We feel like in our wide receiver group we got 2 big wide receivers for the outside, and we feel like we got 2 quick guys for the inside. And when you look at our offense, that's the things that we're looking for at those positions. We would like for our inside guys to be bigger, and I think they'll be bigger down the road. But if they're not going to be big, they need to be blurs. And both of those young men are extremely fast and extremely quick. So you tie those 2 smaller guys, the 2 bigger guys outside, and I think we got the complete catch.
the experts out there have you at the bottom of the ACC. You're in the middle ground nationally. What's your take on any of that?
I just think back to the first time I ever had the opportunity to be a head football coach. And I went out to my very first practice, and I was watching a bunch of guys that had no stars. And I was watching this quarterback throw the ball, and I just thought there's no way in heck that this guy should be at this level. And he didn't have a single star, zero. And last time I checked, I think the going rate for him is a first and a fourth round draft pick right now in the NFL, and they're probably going to get a lot more than that for him. So those people have their opinions. I'm sure they work very hard at their jobs. We like to think that we work hard at our jobs too, and that we do an okay job evaluating people.
So, obviously, you don't. Water off the duck's back. You don't much care.
I like that, water off the duck's back.
Any other questions for Coach?
Tommy DeVito getting a lot of attention, right, on ESPN2 today. Is that sort of attention warranted, do you think? Is it even fair to him at this point?
You know, that's a fantastic question. Normally, I don't want to single anyone out in the class, and I'm going to consistently try to do that. But the one thing that I will give Tommy DeVito his due is that when he started this journey, he was a two-star. And the things that he did at the Elite 11, the things he did to make himself qualify for all-star games and all those things, and raising up his stock, so to speak, and raising the flag of Syracuse while he did it. All that stuff was done on his own. It wasn't done while he was underneath our watch. We weren't coaching him. We weren't directing him. And I loved his desire. I loved his will. I loved the chip that he had on his shoulder, that he was a lot better than what everyone else evaluated him out to be. And hopefully, you know, we can continue that, and that he can be something that we think is extremely special.
You guys have a handful of spots left to use if you would like. Are there any positions in particular you're really targeting, JUCO guys, grad transfers, to bring in before the summer?
No, you really, and Stephen, you really don't want to put that out there. But our big thing is, it's like any other draft board when you're looking, you know, best guy available. If the guy can help us help our football team, if he fits into our family, he fits into our culture, then it's somebody that we may look at. If not, we'll save it till next year. We'll find some good young man that wants to get a Syracuse education.
What are your expectations for DeVito on the field this season?
Come in, be a good teammate, and relax, and let's see what happens.
Not take the starting job and run with it?
He doesn't even know the plays yet. I think we're okay. Just let him relax and come in, and let's see what happens.
Time for two more questions. Joe?
Dino, 5 players from Florida. I know you've referenced some of them. But what do you like about prospects from that state and in general? Why is it worth putting the resources towards going down there and getting players from that state?
You know, the biggest thing about Florida recruiting is that Florida has spring ball, and you can actually see them tackle. They have spring games. They have spring jamborees. So you really get a true evaluation of what you're recruiting. To me, it's extremely difficult to miss if you're recruiting in the state of Florida. If you've got recruiters that are missing players there when they get to see them play so much, you probably got the wrong guys recruiting in those states, and you need to switch them with someone else. It's a very clean state. The young men are normally excited about football. It's one of the lead sports down there, minus some of the track that they run, and it should be a very, very hard state to miss an evaluation in.
Last question, Matt.
Coach, some coaches would refer to National Signing Day as Christmas Eve or something they really look forward to. How would you describe, as a head football coach for Division I school, National Signing Day?
To me, first of all, let me say this. Let me say this. I want to thank my football team for the way that they recruited with this 2017 class coming in. Their unselfishness in bringing these young men into our family and letting them know that it was okay for them to come in here and compete for jobs. So unselfish. And when I think about the 2017 recruiting class, I think about the 2017 football team. I think we have a fantastic football team coming back. I think we have a lot of experience. We'd like to take these young men and put them in the underbelly of our football program. And if they can rise to the top, or rise to the top, so to speak, and can make a name for themselves, so be it. If not, we'll put them in the oven. We'll bake them for a while, and we'll see them next year. But they're part of our family, and we're excited that they're here.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.